Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a really nice weekend, and now it's Monday and we're back at it. I really enjoyed reading a lot of your comments that you made about what you're thinking about this and how you're missing your friends or your parents are angry that you're spending all of your time on the computer, which is totally fair. I find that that's the hardest part for me too. I'm always checking my emails. I'm always on my screen. I'm always trying to fix something or do this, but I think it's important to try to take time to be apart from that too. As we go on for the week, I'm going to give you some optional dominant, non-dominant projects that we can do that are going to be a little bit more creative based. So I'm going to try to get you away from the computer. But today, again, you all have 45 minutes of English, and I'm receiving quite a few projects already, actually. I think I have 4 or 5, and they're fabulous. So just keep going and doing exactly what you're doing. Don't forget to share it with me. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it, like we always do. Once you've done your project, you go and you click on the little plus man, and you add my email address, okay? Because then I get a little notification that you've done it, and I can look at it. Today, we're still on my book. I still have a couple women to introduce you to. Okay? And we're doing one that you all know already, for sure, because she is probably one of the most famous women ever. 40. Okay, we're going back in time a little bit to, well, the beginning of recorded time. And we're going to do Cleopatra. Now, Cleopatra lived from, well, you know how we use BC? So it kind of crosses over that. She lived from 69, around 69, because we don't really know, BC to 30 after Christ. So AD. I always get confused with that. Anyways, you can count that as 2,000 years ago. That's a really good way to think about it. Alright, so Cleopatra. Everyone knows her, but I'm not sure if you know the story. I never did until I read this book. Once upon a time in ancient Egypt, a pharaoh died and left his kingdom to his 10-year-old son, Ptolemy the Eighth, and to his 18-year-old daughter, Cleopatra. The two had such different ideas on how to run the country that soon Cleopatra was kicked out of the palace and a civil war broke out. A civil war is when it's a war between the people who already live in the country. So it's not another country coming to attack. It's just the people of Egypt were fighting each other. Julius Caesar, the emperor of Rome, traveled to Egypt to help Cleopatra and Ptolemy find an agreement. If only I could meet Caesar before my brother does, Cleopatra thought. I could convince him that I'm the better pharaoh. But she had been banished from the palace. The guards would have blocked her at the entrance. So Cleopatra asked her servants to roll her up inside a carpet and to smuggle her into Caesar's rooms. Impressed by her daring, Caesar restored Cleopatra to the throne. They became a couple and had a son. Cleopatra moved to Rome, but when Caesar was killed, she went back to Egypt. The new Roman leader, Mark Antony, had heard a lot about the strong Egyptian queen and wanted to meet her. This time, she arrived on a golden barge surrounded by precious jewels and silk. It was love at first sight. Cleopatra and Mark Antony were inseparable. They had 3 children and loved each other until the end of their lives. When Cleopatra died, the empire ended with her. She was the last pharaoh to rule ancient Egypt. The end. I went to Egypt this summer. I know a lot of you guys have been to Egypt on holidays, maybe even the one that just went past. And seeing things like the pyramids and the temples and all of that stuff from so long ago was so cool. The thing that probably impressed me the most was the colors that were still in the mosaics that were on the wall. And I can't even imagine how beautiful these places would have been when they were all actually painted and colorful like that. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.